What's going on, miners, and welcome back to the Hobbyist Miner channel. Well, today I have a special guest for our fourth episode of Meet the Miner. We do have Seb from Seb's FinTech YouTube channel. Welcome, man. Thanks for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So I'm excited. We finally get somebody from across the pond, as they say. You know, it's not just all these Americans on. Finally showing some love.
Finally some diversity, right?
I know, man. I get that a lot in the comments, you know. Let's get some foreigners on here.
Exactly.
So those of you guys not familiar, Seb hosts a phenomenal crypto mining YouTube channel. Specializes in crypto mining and technology reviews and all that fun stuff. Trust me, you can't forget this man's thumbnails if you've ever seen them. They are next level. But if you guys aren't familiar with him, his YouTube channel is in the bottom right hand corner. Please make sure you go out, subscribe to him. He brings a lot of content to you that I don't. And what I mean by that is he brings a lot of very deep dive content. He spends a lot of time doing the analytical side of things, breaking down numbers. And so if you're a math numbers person, Seb's your man. So make sure you guys go check out his channel. So let's jump into it. Let's not waste.
You're making it sound boring now. My channel isn't all this math stuff. Come on, man. I got fun like rig build videos. It's fine. Honestly, I'm kind of like a dollar store hobbyist miner, to be fair.
Oh my gosh.
It's somewhat similar content. It's just mine's a little worse, but I do show my face. So
that's true.
I got that going for me.
He's more handsome, guys. All right, he's more handsome. So let's kind of learn a little bit about Seb. You know, a new person here to the channel, and so let's kind of throw it out there. You know, what does your mining setup look like? What type of GPUs are you running, and what's your hash rate? You know, just kind of lay the land for our listeners.
All right. So I got 1.1 gigahash on Ethereum, and as of very recently, I also have just under 100 megahash on Ravencoin now.
That's huge.
Oh, I mean, it's something. It's a start, right?
Oh, absolutely. No, that's great. That sounds good. So, you're running.
You know why that is? What I've been able to do is just because I know you've had a lot of hodlers on the Meet the Miner series so far.
Yes.
I've been selling all my mined Ethereum. Wow. I know that is not the smartest thing to do, but here's how I look at it, right? I've got I'm mining now. We're in a good sort of high price point for Ethereum right now. Who knows how long this is going to last? I'm just gonna cash in all the Ethereum I'm mining right now and put that towards buying new GPUs.
So we're just jumping way ahead, folks, talking about mining strategy here.
Sorry, I'm excited.
No,
I love talking about mining.
It's cool.
And look, if you get me started, I'll just keep going, man.
No, it's cool. Let's run with it there. So I'm happy to hear that. Red Fox Crypto was another one that I think he had done something like an 80-20 split or something like that, and he would sell off to help cover costs for electricity costs and stuff. And then also very similar to your situation where he would reinvest. So instead of people looking at hodling as the only way to invest, there's also the investment in GPUs. So you're just reinvesting into the GPU market as of right now, and for the foreseeable future, the value of those GPUs is going up. So you're just reinvesting in a different way. You're which I think is great. That's actually a great. No wonder this man can afford 1660s left and right, guys. I mean, man, have you seen some of his videos? He just, oh my word, awesome. So
I like those.
So you had talked a little bit about your hash rate and what you're mining. And if I spoiled it there, you're a huge fan of 1660s, which is great. And if people aren't familiar, you're definitely a Windows fan. Like the videos are. Well, what do you got for me? You gonna break it?
No, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm a Windows fan. I think I just started on Windows, and then it just kind of like I kept getting Windows questions in my comments.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, fine. I'll be the Windows guy then. You know.
It's smart. It really is. I mean, I think from my perspective. When people ask me which direction to go, I think Windows is the more comfortable direction for like a new miner, because they're used to Windows, and in one facet or another, they're used to a desktop and a mouse and keyboard operating system, and so people naturally gravitate towards that. I think when you throw out the word Linux to people, they're like, "Oh no way, don't want to touch it," not realizing that like Hive OS has completely revolutionized the way that Linux is treated and used. I mean, it is easy peasy.
Oh yeah, it is almost just like what's it called, like plug and play at this point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, in many ways, like Hive OS is probably easier than Windows, because like there's a lot of hoops you have to jump through in Windows just to get everything set up right, and you know, Windows tend to crash a lot more than Hive, or at least Hive is better at like recovering if there's a crash and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, when I think about it,
but yeah, Windows is what people is like familiar with, so I think that's why like the barrier to entry might be lower still.
Yeah, no, that's a great way to look at it. So to reel things back a little bit, Seb is, as you talked about, he's a miner. He's a crypto mining content creator. And based off of what I saw, you really, when did you start mining? Because you didn't start YouTube until about 3 months ago. But were you mining before that?
So I think you and I have been on an extremely similar like mining journey.
Okay.
I think I started like probably to the like week at the same time as you did.
Okay.
Yeah. It's weird. Like, sometime early this year, I forget if it was like around February, March, somewhere there.
Yep. My first video was February 5th, and I didn't even have a graphics card yet. I had a VetaFrame and a B250 mining motherboard. And
I remember that you were talking about like getting the motherboard and like what your plan was, right?
Yeah. I mean, I started from like this is what I got, and now I'm going to try to find some cards, and man, it feels like it was forever ago. It was actually over 100 videos ago, actually now for me, which is crazy, because just like you, like I started in February, like I'm a newbie.
Yeah. I mean, everything's relative, right? But yeah, we're both newbies compared to some of these like OGs, right?
Oh, I know. So how did you get into mining? I mean, you started about 3 months ago, it sounds like 3 or 4 months ago. How did you how did you step into the space?
Dude, I have no idea. I'm the kind of person that like I will just find something and then I'll get like obsessed with it and I'll just dive like head first into it. And mining has been one of the like worst ones for that, or best ones, however you look at it. But and I think mining has also been just like, and especially mining like YouTube and just the whole Misfit mining community and everything around it has been like, it came at such a perfect place for me in my life. Like, I mean, I don't mind getting personal, but like I lost my job due to the pandemic. I worked I was a visual effects artist for like feature films.
Okay.
And I worked at this company for almost 8 years.
Wow.
And like once the pandemic hit, the whole movie industry basically just like imploded on itself, more or less.
Yeah, you're right.
And so yeah, I mean, lost my job, and that was around summer of last year.
Okay.
And thankfully, like, my wife is also working, and but we've been doing without getting into too many, like, too personal, like this, like we had a lot of changes in our life, and this came at a point where it was just like a perfect blessing for me, because like me losing my job made me realize that like it doesn't matter how hard you work, if you work for someone else, you will never have like true stability in your life.
1000%. Yep.
You know, because it was completely out of my control, but like it wouldn't have mattered how hard I would have worked at that place, I still would have lost my job. So I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to like, because my whole life I've been a creator, and I'm
definitely
creating different things, and so I was like, I want to do it for me this time, you know. And then stumbling onto mining, I have no idea. Like, I've been very aware of cryptocurrency for a long time. Like, I remember hearing about Bitcoin when it was like really new back in like 2009 or something, and actually like reading into it a bit. But like everyone else there, like around that time, you're just like, I'll wait and see what happens with this. I don't quite understand it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I've been aware of it, and I have a friend, he's still my friend, who is really like into crypto, and he introduced me to like GPU mining in like the last bull run. So when was that? 2017 or something like that. He showed me how NiceHash worked. And I was like, oh, this is cool. So it just like jumps between different algorithms and you get paid out in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But I just never like pulled the plug on it myself, even though I was really like enchanted by it almost until now. And I don't know exactly what like the tipping point was now. Maybe it was the fact that GPUs are so freaking hard to find that made it feel like a real challenge.
Right? Isn't it? I completely agree with you. It's like you find one, you get one in, and then like especially like YouTube content, you show it off.
It was like, oh, so crypto mining is really hard right now. I'll get in on it.
I accept the challenge.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, it is a shame in your situation that you lost your job, which is a lot of people, out there, which could completely relate, especially regarding the movie industry. I mean, it's the movie industry, as you know, more than anybody, has changed forever. Like it's completely pivoted a lot. I mean, I went back to the movies for the first time, actually, not too long ago, with my kids to see a movie, and took them to the movies, and it's just totally different. It's like totally different now. But then on the flip side, like a movie comes out and it's like, oh, it's only coming out on HBO Max. Like it's just totally different outlets of consumption now, and it just has a lot of these companies kind of revisiting things. But I find it interesting. So you lost your job, and somehow along the way, there was a gap. I assume there's quite a gap between when you lost your job and when you started mining or content creation. What kind of kindled or sparked that, man, I should start recording this and see what happens, or there's a profitability here for someone like yourself who lost their job. I mean, no one's going to blame you. YouTube's a phenomenal place to gain financial stability.
You know what it is for me? It's like I have always, like I already said, I've always been a creator, and I've for a very long time wanted to do YouTube, if that makes sense. But I've never been interested in being like a YouTuber for the sake of being a YouTuber. Okay. Like I think there are many creators that can be that, and they're good at it. Like they make interesting videos because they're interesting people, right?
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to have like a channel about something other than myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like that's just been something at the back of my mind for a long time, and I've been very just like interested in YouTube as sort of like a media, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
And so then when I started crypto mining, I started doing that, and after a while I was like, why don't I just start making a channel about this and see if people would be interested in that? And because I feel like in the end, if you have something that you yourself is really interested in, you are probably able to like portray that in a way that's interesting to other people.
No, I think that's a phenomenal way to look at it. So you start mining and you start YouTube. Were you surprised as to the results? And the reason this man is a humble man, folks. I want to lay the land here a little bit. Like, this guy puts out very high quality videos. His views are phenomenal. I mean, let's just put it out there. You have 42 videos right now that are out there since March 19th. Is actually when your account was created. So that means your video was around that time. Okay. So very small amount of time. He has over 350,000 views in 42.
Is it actually?
Yep. 358,446. And your subscriber count is 6,000. 6,022. Yeah, 2,200. So that being said, 6.2. So
6.2. Yeah,
took off. I mean, think of it. For 42 uploads, your views are through the roof. Your subscribers are on track. And to give, let's jump into it even more, folks. Okay. So this man right here, in just over 12 months from now, will be at 100,000 subscribers. Does that blow your mind or what? Like thinking back.
Dude, you know what? You know what blew my mind even more? That I have 1/3 views already.
Right? Right?
Because I had no idea. Like, I hadn't looked at like my total views in probably over
Surprise!
Like, or ever maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I had no idea about that. That blows my mind more than anything. Because those like, oh, you'll be at 100K subscribers in a year. Like, while that's cool, it's like, or I could get hit by a bus. You know, like, you never know what's gonna happen.
True.
But like, oh man, like, I can't believe I'm 1/3 views. You hit 1 million views like a few weeks ago or something, didn't you?
I did. I looked the other day. I literally didn't even look at 1 million. Like, I didn't even look at it. Oh, I'm sorry. I looked at 1 million, but it passed so quickly. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, we're there and it's gone.
For you, it's like you blink and you miss it, right? Like, you'll be at 5 million in like a week.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's you know, and I'm getting all this data off of a website called Social Blade. But yeah, I mean, in 6 months, it puts you at
Good old Social Blade.
Social Blade puts you at 2.1 million views in 6 months. 6 months, 2 million views. It's like no pressure.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, now I gotta beat that. You know, now I gotta do better than what they say. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're doing
Social Blade.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say you're doing an awesome job. From what I've seen, you put out about a video a week. Is what I see, and your videos are
currently it's been like that.
Yeah, you're very well thought out videos. What I really like about your channel is the content is what people don't know they want, which is I think what sets your channel apart. Is like, great example, the video you dropped today regarding Ravencoin and your 2-week profits. Ravencoin is like a huge buzz right now because of the way that Ethereum is going to pivot, and there's lots of chat about Ravencoin, and it's like, oh, I want to know more about that. Like, I look at your videos and the timing of your videos, and that's kind of the side that I look at and really enjoy, and it's like, that man was thinking. Like, there's more than just turn on the camera and talk about what's on your mind. So like, you're doing an awesome job.
So you're just like me. You think about like, oh, what's going on behind the scenes there?
Oh, 100%.
Like, what are the thought processes, and like, yeah. Like, I think you and I are very alike in that way, because, and I mean, yeah, it's true. I think with the mining YouTube channel, I am like that a little bit. I'm like, what would people want to watch? But that is also based on like, what do I want to watch? You know, my videos are ultimately just like me exploring things and researching things that I'm curious about, and then I just make videos about that. Just like my I had a video recently that got way too many views. I'm almost embarrassed by how well that video did.
Which one was this?
Raven. It's my most viewed video, and I uploaded it like a week and a half ago or something like that. It's got like awesome. 32,000 views or something.
33,000. Best budget GPU for mining Ravencoin. And the thumbnail is mine, $1 million by 2023.
So it's based on like Son of a Tech made a video where he compared Ravencoin to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And so if the price of Ravencoin would follow like the price trend of Bitcoin. So Ravencoin has a halving coming up, as you know, and his video was basically like, if Ravencoin like follows the same trajectory as Bitcoin did after its first halving, then Ravencoin could hit $10 by 2023. And so I was like, well, if that's true, like, what's the cheapest way to mine 100,000 Ravencoin and become a millionaire?
Yeah, it's smart.
And that's when I break out spreadsheets, man, and that's when the math comes out.
Yeah.
And that turned into my most popular video almost overnight, which was insane.
No, it's perfect timing, as I said. Like, some of YouTube,
it must have been.
Some of YouTube is luck. It's just the timing. The algorithm hitting your channel, but also a lot of YouTube is just, you know, thinking ahead and producing, you know, what you think people are, and that's what I try to tell people that approach me, like, hey, I want to start a YouTube channel. What should I do? And unfortunately, it's not just turn on a camera and record whatever. It's like, only, and some people don't like that answer of put out content that people want to watch, not what you want to watch, but what your audience, what you think is going to watch. And that one's a hard one. It definitely is. So twisting things a little bit here, and I'm curious. So, and this is always a fun one to ask, host, if your hobby and passion was not mining, what would that second item be that you would spend your time and money and investment on separate from mining?
I mean, you're talking to someone who's gone through like 50 hobbies in my lifetime. So who knows
your
what
wife
the next
must
one
love
would
you.
have been.
Your wife must love you. Like, oh no, another one.
I have the most patient wife ever. Like, I am so grateful to her. But yeah, I mean, I think she's just happy that I'm happy. You know, at the end of the day.
That's awesome.
And now she's seeing a bit of like this actually paying for itself and stuff like that. I think she's like even more on board with it, which is so cool. And you know, I'm so lucky. You know?
Oh, you are lucky, man. She's probably gonna watch this, guys. Let's be honest here. So he's buttering it up.
I mean, she is gonna watch, but it is also the truth. But you have to keep in mind, like, we're newlyweds still. We just celebrated our 1 year anniversary.
Oh.
So I'm still got that, you know, like honeymoon phase is still.
My
totally
wife and I
us,
celebrate our 12-year anniversary this weekend, actually.
Oh man, congratulations!
Thank you.
12 years.
Yeah.
Well done.
12 years and 3 kids later. But yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that's good to know. So. Diving in some more here.
Oh, sorry. I feel like I'm probably not answering your questions. You asked what would my hobby be otherwise.
Yeah, what would it be if you had to pick one?
And I just started talking about my wife. Sorry.
Your wife's your hobby. Got it. So that's where all your time and money would
go. No. She's. I mean, to answer your question for real though, like, I've been a lifelong, not lifelong, but I've been making music and producing music for
that's right,
15 years, something like that. Yeah. So, and a lot of people don't know this, but like all the background music in my videos, I have made. It's all my own music.
And how would you categorize that music? Like, if you were to try to put that into a category for the listeners.
It's like lo-fi hip hop beats.
Okay. Very cool.
Like chill lo-fi hip hop beats. So it's like, out of all the music I've made, like 98% of it is like different flavors of hip hop.
Okay.
I've been like a hip hop guy for my whole life, basically. I appreciate other music too, but it's just like the music that I love and that I love making.
No, this is cool. I see it up on Spotify here. I'll put a link for our audience to check it out as well. I feel like this is what I feel like this is what I'm going to listen to next week during work. Like, I work from home. I work from exactly where I am right now, and I'm always looking for like, what's the next thing I listen to, or the next thing, like one of the ones like Serpent XD, like I was listening to his video about kind of his YouTube challenges recently, and I'm always looking for something to listen to. Yeah. So this is perfect. Like this is great. That's exciting. So music. All right, cool. Well, it all makes sense now. You know, the quality of his videos, movie background, special effects. You got music in there too. Very cool. Very cool. I think you're like the coolest person we've had on the show from a career path.
No way, man. You've had Brandon Coyne on with those glasses. No one can you know.
Yes, that is true. Okay, so moving on from there, got some other questions here, and then we'll kind of just jump into a conversational piece. Moving on.
For sure. You know what? Because I know your last one with Chump Change was like, what, an hour and 20 minutes? So we got to beat that. We got to go like 90 minutes.
Oh my gosh, this man's crazy. So it's really funny because after it, more and more, I've been getting more and more feedback from people regarding this, because it's every once in a while, once a week or once every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever. And people are always hitting me up like, when's the next one? They're like, I love listening to it on my commute, or I'm at the gym, or I'm working on my mining equipment. And I'm like, all right, we're getting there. Got to pump them out. So a curiosity question for you on your YouTube channel, actually in your YouTube banner, you mentioned personal finance. Did you decide to take your channel a different direction, or you're hoping to expand on this in the future, or kind of how does personal finance tie into everything at this point?
It's Yeah, no, great question. I'm glad you asked that. So when I first started my YouTube channel, I was like, okay, because I've been interested in personal finance for 2 years or something like that. I've been like getting more interested in it because I feel like I'm part of that generation that where like if you don't have your finances under control, you're never gonna be able to retire.
100%, I agree.
And so I've just been learning all about this. Do you know about like the FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early? You ever heard of anything about that?
I have not, no.
Yeah, like it's a whole
us,
thing.
Educate us.
Yeah. So it's all about it's all about like learning how money works, and it's not about chasing money and being obsessed with money, but it's more about just like learning about money and making good decisions in order to like save up enough and putting those savings into investments that give you like enough interest to let you live off just the interest for the rest of your life. And there are some people that have been able to like reach that by the age of 30.
That's insane.
Yeah. So I'm a bit past that, you know. I'm almost 31 already, but maybe I could reach it by 40, and that would still be amazing.
That would be.
And it's not about like it's not about retiring just so that you can sit and watch TV for the rest of like the 50 remaining years of your life, but it's more just about like getting to the point where you have the freedom to not have to like take a job that you don't like.
That's a good way to put it.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. No, I think it's definitely a smart avenue to go. My wife and I are big advocates. I don't know if you ever heard of Dave Ramsey.
Oh yeah, of course.
So my wife and I are big advocates of Dave Ramsey. We've gone through financial peace with our church, and you know, we are lucky. We are currently debt free, and so that is something something that we strive.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That's something that we strived for. And it's something that we've strived to keep. You know, when we sold our last home, we sold our last home about 2 years ago, but the market was really good. So we actually made much more than what we bought it for just a few years earlier. And we were able to not only buy another home, but then also take a lot of that and pay off a lot of debt. And that kind of set the stage. But you're absolutely right there. And I think what's been interesting for me is, getting into mining and getting into YouTube, two separate things. Like I am proud I'm proud to say my YouTube channel actually pays for like my basement renovations. Like I'm renovating my basement myself. I use my YouTube profits, which is something phenomenal. Like I never thought I'd be able to do, to pay for the renovations,
so cool.
to cash flow my basement's renovations. And a good example is, and people don't realize, like outside of like just going crazy on like airflow and all this stuff, a basement in the US right now to have renovated. Now I know I'm going to get a boatload of comments to tell me I'm wrong, but I got a number of quotes within the last year was $40,000 to $45,000. So that is really hard to swallow when you're trying to cash flow.
That's more than a lot of people make in a year pre-tax.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So having the opportunity, one, to do it myself, and two, to cash flow it, where it's like I'm not taking out a loan to do this. I'm doing this all myself. I've been very fortunate to get to this point with mining, and I'm not even talking about what I mine. I'm just talking about what YouTube does for me and what the community does for me in order to put me and my family in a better financial state. So I think it's really funny how, like, when you start to talk about crypto mining, I feel like you have two different audiences. Your audience that is like, what can I mine today to sell tomorrow to pay for my day-to-day life? And then you have a lot of these other individuals that are, what can I mine today? And I don't even look at it. And I just hold it. And if it bubbles at one point down the road and bam, I'm successful from it, awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, to answer your question, why I have personal finance in my YouTube banner.
We just go down rabbit holes, whatever, it's good.
But yeah, like, honestly though, I think I just wanted to, because that's another interest of me, and I didn't want to like pigeonhole myself right away when I started my channel, which is also why it's not called Seb's like mining channel.
Got it.
I was like, financial technology. That is a little bit broader. I can't branch out if just like crypto just goes down the drain. I can still pivot and keep my channel going, maybe.
No, it was I think it's smart.
I got like 2 of my interests under there at least, you know. Well, maybe I could even pivot more to the financial technology side, and I can talk about some tech stuff or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I think you're smart because I think it's all intertwined. Like mining is directly intertwined with currency and the financial side of things. And then on the flip side, go the other direction, mining is directly involved with tech. So it allows you to pivot or to mix things a lot, which I think is great. Once again, this man, he's going to be at 100,000 subs in 12 months. There's no reason why not. All right, so
it feels so unreal with this like actually happening. I'm not saying it's happening, I'm getting 100K, but like just to have a trajectory where that is like a possible reality feels unreal to me, because like for the longest time I've like thought of those like, you know, like those 100K award, like
right?
awards you get from
you and
YouTube.
I are the same. Yeah. You and I are the same.
Like what do they call, the play buttons, right? Like, and I've been like, maybe one day, like I'll have one of those.
I wonder when RPM is getting his. He hasn't shown it off if you've gotten it, because he's at like 130,000.
Yeah. Maybe he has it, just he doesn't like
being modest and humble.
Yeah. But like just to what I was saying is like, I started my mining channel not with the intention of like, I'll hit 100K or I'll get all of these subscribers or anything. But now all of a sudden it's like kind of happening a little bit, and I don't know how to react to it.
No, you're right. It is quite a blessing. Definitely a blessing on that side. So pivoting back a little bit here, last few questions here, and then we'll open it up. So as a miner, and even as a content creator, you speak maybe to both, is kind of what's your next steps with your growth? I feel like if you're someone like Red Panda Mining, you just start buying up real estate regarding like, okay, I got a garage, a mining garage, I got a barn, I got a basement, a warehouse, but for you and I, what is your, next step at this point? When you're daydreaming about mining, where do you see in the next year or so that things go? Are you going to be exactly where you are right now in that space? Do you outgrow it? Kind of where's your head at?
So just like, I'm currently building a house for me and the wife right now. But once I'm done with that, the plan is to build a shed for my mining rigs.
Smart man.
Because having watched your videos,
smart,
basement might not have been the way to go from what I've heard some people say on previous
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. You are right. That is a very smart move. Yeah. I think I have to stop you there though. You're building you and a wife a house. So is this actually you? Correct. You're doing the work? Like you're wow.
Yes, me and my dad, yeah.
That is not an easy thing to just check off your list. Like, oh yeah, I put together a bicycle. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and build a house. So where did that skill set come from?
I mean, it's mostly my dad. I've always been someone who makes things, I think.
Okay.
But he is so my dad retired a fair few years ago, but he sort of retired into carpentry.
Oh, okay.
So he would do carpeting work for local businesses and stuff after he retired. And so I think I basically just approached him with this idea, or rather me and my wife did, when I lost my job. It was okay, it seems that I won't be able to get another job doing what I do for at least a few years until the world goes back to normal. So what if I, instead of having a job, I put that amount of time into building a house instead? And so we approached my dad, and he was on board, and he thought it would be a really fun project. So it's not a massive house we're building, because we're being into all of this like money, like conscious living and stuff like that. We're also into like tiny houses. I don't know if you've ever heard of those.
Yeah, there's a tiny house community about 10 minutes from me that moved into into a trailer park. So there's a trailer park there. The community was sold to a tiny house community, and it looks so cool. There are like, I think what they did was they went and like their investors bought a bunch of tiny homes, put them there in place to rent, and then the other half of it is like people can, you know, bring their own tiny homes, which I think is very cool. You're not exactly a short person though, so how does that work out for someone like yourself?
Dude, I've got that question a lot, but like, will you just like you custom make it to your size basically? Yeah. So for the viewers who might not be aware, I'm a quite large human being. I'm like 6'4".
Oh my gosh,
4.5 maybe.
That's crazy.
And if I don't look that in my videos, it is also because I'm also pretty wide. So I kind of look like a normal sized human, just that they scaled it up. And like I'm not really aware of my size, but sometimes I'll see pictures of myself in like a group of other people, and I'm just like, oh, I'm such a giant. And like I get embarrassed. Like, put me in a zoo, man. Like,
oh my gosh, that's crazy. Come on now. Well, it is funny because I've seen, sometimes I could see, you can notice in the camera angle. And I know sometimes your camera angle can be deceptive, but when you start to look at scale and everything, you're like, dude, this is a tall guy right here.
Yeah, because I got a few comments like that was like, wait, are your ceilings really low?
Yes, 100%.
Or are you just massive?
Today's video, I was looking at the one that you dropped, and I'm like, wait, maybe over across the pond, the basement ceilings are much smaller, you know, a little older, blah blah blah. And I was like, no, this dude's just tall.
Yeah, and I'm building a tiny house.
That is so cool. Are you going to document that in any way?
You know what? I'm not, but my wife has been like coming out in the evening every day and recording a little video of just like our progress, and it's the most adorable thing. And she's putting together like a little, what would you call that, a collage or of just like the videos of how it's going. So we will have that at some point. I don't know if that's something I would like share on my channel. I don't think people would be very interested in that. And also, I don't know how like comfortable I feel sharing like what my house looks like from the outside.
I can understand that. Yeah. So moving forward, you'll have a shed, which is a very smart move. I'm happy to hear that. That will be my like answer moving forward to anybody that like asks. It's like, nope, just get a shed. And to explain to people why I push a shed. If you could financially afford it, if you're looking at one or the other, having your crypto equipment, which is like hot as anything. Like right now, where I'm sitting right now, it's 80. And on the other side of my wall, where my mining equipment is, it's 95 right now. Having that in the same area as your dwelling really presents a lot of airflow challenges. Separating that, even with a shed, or like my basement's a walkout basement, so there's a deck above it. I even thought about it would have been a smart move, like to enclose that area, and just having it separate from the rest of your dwelling takes all of that concern and money and time and effort away. And it's like, great, it's a shed. I got exhaust fans on one side, I got intake vents on the other, problem solved. Like moving on with my day. So exactly. I am really happy to hear that you're going that direction. Like, good for you, smart man.
Yeah. The challenge I'm facing right now is like, my mining rigs are like in the basement of this house now.
Yeah.
But the basement isn't like, it's multiple small rooms.
Okay.
So there's no room where I can have just like a draft going through it in one direction.
Okay.
You know, like there will be like one window maybe on one side in this room, and then we'll have like a vent on like this, like the other side in a completely different room. So like I can't make a stream of air go through the basement in any way. You know?
So how are you dealing with airflow now? Because I mean, you have how many cards do you up to now?
39.
So 39 cards. Airflow definitely has to be one of your biggest challenges in that space.
Oh, but here's the good thing. I'm not mining Ravencoin very much. So
Smart
it's not as power consuming as, it might be for you.
I pivoted from Ravencoin about a week ago on 12 of my GPUs and pivoted those to Ergo only because of the heat factor. And that was a big one there, and I'm thankful.
Massive difference, right? Massive difference.
10-degree difference. 10-degree difference at that rig alone. Like, I literally have one of my own thermometers right there, and literally within a foot of that rig. And and I have them all over the place. I bought a whole bunch of them. They're really cheap. I think they're like 2 for like $11 US. And I have them right in every rig. So like within every rig, there's this, so I can monitor like where's my heat in this room? Where's my pockets of heat? And that's been really helpful to kind of identify areas I can improve upon, which has worked out well. So let's talk a little bit more.
That's really clever, actually.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more just about like mining the market and stuff. So do you think the current crypto mining market will pivot to like altcoins more in the next few months with everything happening with Ethereum? Or do you think Ethereum's just going to keep moving forward based off and the miners are just going to take a little bit of a hit and keep trucking?
You're talking about like post EIP 1559 and things like that.
1,000%, yes.
Yeah, okay. I think just due to the like absolute size of the hash rate on the Ethereum network, I think it's still going to be Ethereum will be like the king of mining for a while going forward, probably up until the merge, right? However, I do think we will start seeing like hash rate moving from Ethereum onto other coins, probably slowly over time. But also, this said, like, I have no idea what's gonna happen. Like, this is just me. I started mining 3 months ago or something. Like, I don't like. I'm no expert on this thing. If you wanted an expert's opinion, you should probably have like Bitsby tripping on. Like, that would be a really interesting. Yeah. But in what I think will happen is just like hash rate will slowly start dividing onto the other coins, because if you look at like what to mine right now. Not that what to mine is like super accurate all the time, but it gives you a good idea. So you got like Ethereum, which is almost twice as profitable as any other coin still, or at least like 50% more profit. And then you have sort of it's usually like 1 or 2 coins that are like a bit below, but then you have this whole chunk of like 20 coins that are all very profitable still. They're just not as profitable. So how I look at the future for mining is it's probably going to be a lot more like you can basically pick the coin you like, and they're all going to be somewhat similar when it comes to profitability, rather than having just like one coin be the king of profitability and you're like either mining Ethereum or you're like missing out on profits.
No, that's a good way to look at it. I mean, I think I'm in that similar boat. I do believe that a lot of it will trickle down. I think until we see exactly how Ethereum will entirely be affected, especially with the profitability side, with one, algorithm versus another, I think it's really hard. You make predictions, but it's all theory based. And that's what I would tell people is like, my theory is, because at this point, we've never been in this situation. No one knows where it's going to go from here. I mean, that's kind of the fun thing about crypto mining is it's the Wild West. Like nobody knows what's going on, and we all hope for the best. And so I do agree with you. I think competition is good, and it's good for the market. So if Ethereum drops down and now all of a sudden we have a handful of 5 different algorithms that are very close together from a profitability perspective, I think that's great. It's great for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
It on that.
And also, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
All right. I forgot what I was gonna say now.
I was gonna.
Man,
we got it. It's gone. It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
So
I'll remember it like when I go to bed tonight, and I'll be like, oh God.
So last question here, and then we'll open it up a little bit. Is related to NVIDIA LHR card situation. So, a lot of people have reached out to me and asked me this question, and so I'm interested. This is theory-based again. I love theory-based questions because guess what? There's no wrong answer. Ta-da! So, hey. Do you believe that LHR, the entire LHR situation, is just a giant marketing ploy against miners to shift the blame on NVIDIA's side away from their supply chain issue? Like, a lot of people have approached me and just said, hey, just throw this out there. There's no concrete answers, but NVIDIA continues to struggle with supply chain. And their solution seems to be, well, we're putting LHR cards out there so miners stop buying them so they're available for everybody. What are your thoughts on those statements?
Well, the answer is yes.
Done. Conversation's over.
Do I believe that's it? Yes. I just, because I remembered
go for it.
What I wanted to say is like, and it ties into this question as well.
Perfect.
Which is, I also get a lot of questions on my channel about, what do you think will happen after Ethereum goes proof of stake and the merge happens, and what do you think about LHR cards and stuff like that? And it's like, well, I mean, we don't have to think about those things, kind of like with mining. Like, you can change what coin you're mining in 10 minutes, you know? Yeah. And once Ethereum goes away, like mining Ethereum goes away, just see then what happens, you know, and make a decision then. You don't have to make all these plans now, because if you make plans now, like, guess what? They're not going to be optimal for when it actually happens, because what's going to happen is always going to be at least a little bit different from what you think is going to happen. So it's better to just roll with the punches. And trying to tie that into the like LHR cards and stuff,
yep,
I 100% believe it's just a marketing thing. Because here's the thing, NVIDIA, they have a shortage. Gamers love to blame miners for the shortage in cards, but like, we're in this exact same boat as you are. We're just a lot more keen on getting the graphics cards, which is why you see us getting the graphics cards. You know? And, you know, like, we're not getting them through any, like, secret channels that the gamers don't know about.
Right.
And we're having to pay scalpers, too, if we can't, like, get them straight for MSRP and stuff like that. And the real problem is the, like, supply issues that are, like, for everything right now. Like, it's computer chips, it's wood, you know, like, we're building a house.
It's crazy.
Like, wood prices have gone up. Yeah, like everything is in short supply right now. It's just not just graphics cards. And so what NVIDIA is doing, because NVIDIA knows that, like, miners have to buy their graphics cards no matter what, because that is what we use to mine. And miners can, like, they can piss us off as much as they want, because guess what? We still need their GPUs, right?
Yep.
So what they're doing now is they're just trying to appeal to gamers. Like, when they don't have, now that they don't have enough supply in, like, to saturate the needs for both gamers and miners, they might as well do this big whole marketing thing to appeal to gamers and make gamers happy, and look good in the eyes of gamers, because they have nothing to lose. And then they can also take their, like, B stock and, like, turn those into, like, mining cards and sell those for 3 times what they're worth.
Right.
And just be like, look, miners, we have something for you too. And it's all.
Look, miners, stop buying the other gamer cards and buy these cards.
Yeah.
See,
that you can't even buy, because they're actually not in, like, possible to buy unless you're a massive Chinese.
You know, if NVIDIA came out with mining cards that literally were like the price of, let's say, a 1660, but you got the performance of a 3090 from a mining perspective, we'd be having a totally different conversation, because it's like, great, that is a mining card, like, it produces phenomenally, and it's at a competitive price point. But just like you said,
exactly,
and for the audience that isn't familiar, they come out with a mining card and they push miners to buy it, but it's significantly higher and more expensive. It's older technology and the hash rates are terrible. It's like, wait. And then you turn around and you're like, see, gamers, we came out with a product for miners, but they don't want to buy it. It's like, wait, what planet are you on?
The thing is, they're barely even out.
Oh, I know.
The only like, there are a lot of mining YouTube channels, and the only person I know that has even been able to get like their hands on one is Red Panda Mining.
Yeah, that's it.
And he had to go through like these strange sellers on like Alibaba. like how do, like I would almost buy at least one of these mining GPUs if I could, you know, just to like try one. But like you can't even buy them.
Yeah, no, you're
absolutely
right.
It's not like they're being sold out and being scalped on eBay. Like they don't exist.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I talked about it with Chump Change too. It's like, this is a perfect opportunity for AMD to excel. Like, at the end of the day, it all comes down to just a sale. Like, all they care about is the sale. They don't care who they sell to. As long as their demand is up, like, it's a sale. So, like, AMD, man, they have to be sitting back going, okay, how can we take advantage of the situations? How can we appease miners and appease gamers? And the real solution is come out with a kick-ass gaming or a kick-ass mining series, an entire series dedicated to mining that is a competitive price and that is phenomenal hash rate performance. You're going to see all of us move over that direction, because we're not going to pay, you know, we're not going to go buy a 3090 if we have something that is significant, that gives us better hash rate. Because at the end of the day, we're just looking at hash rate and power consumption. Yeah. That's all we care about.
Yeah, 100%. And you just know that AMD, like, they're making moves right now. Yeah. You know, like they if they're not, then they're stupid.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree. Awesome. So that is the end of my Q&A section. Now that we are 53 minutes in, this man is insane.
All right. 53.
So that's all right. Bad. So I had thrown over to Seb, and I've done this with previous guests, and said, bring a topic that you want to talk about to the tail end. And more of a discussion piece. So the floor is yours. What would you like to talk about in the last few minutes of the show?
Let's I would very much like to talk about just being a content creator and being like an online YouTube person. Okay. And so I have a question for you actually, that I've been thinking about. And what was the decision to not show your face? Because I feel like we get that so much in the like crypto mining space specifically. Like even just like the crypto trading, it's all just like talking heads. But for some reason in like the mining niche, it's all just like hands and GPUs.
Yeah. So is that right? Somebody had commented to me and was like, wait, I expected you in your last video to just have hands, just like Chump Change, and then it just say show with hands. So for me, it was less of, so traditionally in the mining space, it is from people get like concerned from a security perspective, you know, like, like I don't, you know, security. For me, it actually wasn't that. For years in the in different spaces, you know, I had showed my face and stuff like that. But when I was looking,
you had like a gaming channel before, didn't
correct?
You?
Yeah. So I was into gaming a lot, and I had done gaming content for 8 years or so, and it never really took off. And so what I really did was when I about a year ago, you know, I stopped producing gaming content, everything like that. And I just took some time, a break away from it all. And then when I started to get back into mining, I did spend 3 to 6 months just looking at what worked and what didn't work in the space. And then I started to look at other industries too. And so it was more of just like a impulsive, like, I don't want people to see my face. And it was more of a, I found that not showing your face, and sorry, Seb, you've already done it, that it leaves it more up to a mystery to the viewer, and it almost, and it's more of a demand. So everybody judges a book by their cover. So the second you see someone's face or something about them, you're like, I don't like that, or I like that. And so my decision was, let's take that out of the equation. And I'm a good looking man. But let's take that out of the equation and now leave everything up to the imagination of the viewer. And that was my deciding factor. It was more the science behind it and less the security, which a lot of other individuals will say security.
Yeah. That is really interesting. I hadn't thought of that at all, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, of course, I think like with everything, there's always two sides to that coin, because then you have that, well, if you show your face, you're more likely to make a personal connection with the viewer.
Yes.
And so there's always two sides to it, but I hadn't considered that at all, actually. Because I know about the whole thing of like, I think especially that's from a lot of people that got into like crypto and crypto mining in the last cycle, or even before then, crypto was still like almost a little bit taboo.
Yeah, it's a great way to put it.
You because there was still such a connection between like paying with Bitcoin and going on the dark web and all of that nasty stuff, which has nothing to do with cryptocurrency, like actually, because it's like that comparison of like I know a lot of like older people like to be like, oh, Bitcoin is bad because you can buy, you know, illegal things with it anonymously. And it's like, hang on, I can guarantee you that 99.9% of everything illegal that's ever been bought was bought with like fiat and probably cash.
Right.
But you're not saying that that's bad.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's true. It's true. Good question. That was a great question. I did not expect that one.
I'm glad you thought so, because it's something that's been on my mind, because I know for some of the like you can obviously understand with some of the bigger guys like Red Panda and stuff. Like I totally understand why he wants to keep his anonymity, because I don't think he could make the kind of content he makes and like just show who he is and where he lives, and you know, like it would just be too much of a security risk. I feel like I'm able to do that a little bit more just because of where in the world I am.
Okay.
You know, because my like 99.9% of my viewership is not in the same part of the world as I am.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. No, that definitely makes sense. I can see where you're coming from there. I think I think it would be different if all of a sudden you know, like if the tides changed and I'm like, all right, today I'm going to start showing my face, and you know, people know I live in, you know, as I expressed, I live in Pennsylvania. I haven't kept that any secret or anything like that. But yeah, it does start to narrow down and things like that. And then, you know, do people do enough research to figure out, okay, he lives in this area, and, you know, just kind of taking it from there and there and there. And then security becomes a factor, you know, and you hate to get concerned. So no, it's a great question. For me, it was, as I said before, it was all strategy, starting up a new channel, and less security.
Always thinking about the like making moves, right?
I'm trying. I mean, gotta keep up. Like, gotta keep up with these guys named Seb.
Come on now. That is why you're growing at this rate. You know, like you were talking about my channel blowing up. Like, you want to speak. You're gonna hit 100K in what, like 2 months or something?
No,
come on now.
We'll be at 25K in under 2 months. But not.
Wow.
But who's looking at the numbers anyway? I mean, come on now.
That is true. Like, it is so easy to get caught up in the numbers. I've already started noticing that with myself. It's like, I put up a video, and like you were talking about this before, how YouTube is almost like luck based, and like I totally see what you mean. I don't think it's like exactly luck based, because I think both you and I, like, we've seen some growth, and it is because we kind of know what we're doing. We've been creatives before. We have done our due diligence and our research, but it is luck based in the way that, like, you can put a mass amount of effort into a video and think up like a good searchable title, or you know, and then have that video just tank, and you have no idea why that happens. And then I've had it before where I'm just like, I feel like posting a video, but I have nothing really to do. I'll just and this is a real thing, like, I'll just film my farm and tell what all the cards are and post that video, and he got like 25k views or something
People
like
eat
that.
that
Like
up, right?
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you just name it like, oh my, I think at that time it was like 800 mega hash.
Yeah.
So like, oh my 800 mega hash Ethereum mining farm tour, and it's like
Bam.
20k views or something.
Bam.
You know, and I made that video in 2 hours, and then I have videos that I like research for 2 weeks, and they completely bomb, and I'm just like, okay then.
Yeah, it is. You're absolutely right. It is nutty on which videos do well and which videos don't do well. I mean, I had done, I think, and it's shameful to a degree, but I think my highest rated video is actually a unminable video about talking about mining Dogecoin. But that was that was quite a few months ago when Dogecoin was popping off. So the timing actually worked out great, and that was my strategy behind it. Was like, okay, everybody's trying to find an avenue to magically make this currency called Dogecoin. How can I make it as easy as possible and stuff like that? So you have videos like that where I continue to get comments every day on, and I'm like, why are people still commenting on this? Like, Dogecoin is kind of like plummeted out a little bit. And then other videos where you put a lot of time and effort into, and then you're like, man, I thought this was gonna pop, and it didn't. And you're like, well, come on.
Especially when you think you're being really clever, and like, because like I've seen that on your channel as well, which is like you post a video and I'm like, oh, this video is gonna pop.
Yep.
You know, and then I like go back to your channel a week later, and it's just like that video got 1,000 views, but the next one you had did like 20k or something.
It's really.
And I'm just like, what was that about? You know?
Yeah. It's funny. I've tried to, so I put out content every day, Monday through Friday at least.
Yeah.
I don't put out anything on the weekend. So 5 days a week. And a lot of people have approached me on like, how do you come up with content to do 5 days a week? And I have found that diversifying things quite a bit because you can't have a build video every day. Like, one, you can't afford that, and two, you just can't. And so I have found guides have really been my calling in that regard. And kind of going the direction of just kind of the, my guides are my shorter videos, and my build videos with hardware are my longer videos, and try to sprinkle that up a little bit, which will work out really well. I mean, next week videos, which that's when this will drop, for us, you and I looking ahead, are a lot more related to, like, I have a few brand videos coming out with like partners that I've partnered with, and I got some stickers.
Oh, wow.
I got some stickers coming out that that I'm going to be pushing, not pushing, but putting out there to grow the brand and stuff like that. So I'll have a video on that and things like that. But yeah, I mean, I've started to try to plan out in the next like weeks ahead on content, because it's 5 days a week. Yeah. It's not, but what about you? Like with your content, are you hoping to increase, to decrease? I mean, whatever you're doing now is working, so I'm not speaking against it, but where are you from a content perspective?
I think I've gotten very lucky recently, because I've had like almost every single of my last 7 videos have popped off. And that has been working for me, because I have not been keeping up with uploading. Like I went into this being like, I'll upload like 3, 4, maybe 5 times a week. Yeah. Which I kind of did for a while actually. I was even doing like daily uploads for a little bit.
Okay.
But then it was just like, as work on like building the house started ramping up,
I bet.
I just couldn't keep up, because it's like you spend 10-12 hours like doing manual labor. Ugh. And I like, as much as I would want to like film, like, because I have a list of like video ideas, which is like, it's at over 100 ideas now, like topics for videos.
Awesome.
But I come in and I like have dinner, and I'm just like, I just want to watch a movie and go to bed. You know what I mean? Like,
no, you're not wrong. I mean, I think it's good to continue to have ideas. It's funny, like I was driving before I got home here, and that's when I think of a lot of these ideas of like, oh, what can I do? And sometimes the things were like, I was just gonna do it. I'm like, wait, pause. Let's schedule that video. I can make a video out of that, and people will eat that up. But going back to what you said, it's funny, like some videos do well, some videos don't. So to give people perspective, this man had a video a month ago, what building a 1 gigahash Ethereum mining farm, what was the rest of it there? Mining farm setup is like 21k views. The following week, his next week's video was how to auto run any program as admin on Windows. It got like 2k views. I'm not laughing about it.
That one goes in the trash. That one goes in the trash.
Now listen, this is not me, like people that have 100 views. Go back and look at my first few videos. Like they're abysmal. But what it's saying is the video after this, so he's doing a video a week, whatever. That week he actually did 2 videos. I feel like you released that first video and then you're like, wait, I need to redeem myself. He comes out with his best video yet. Best budget GPU for mining Ravencoin, 33k views.
Yeah. Ain't that the way the YouTube world keeps turning?
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Like,
the one you released this morning, though, is doing phenomenal. I mean, you're at 5.6k views right now, which is astounding for one day.
That is my, like, yeah, less than a day. I think less than 12 hours.
Less than 12 hours. Yep, since 10 hours ago you dropped it.
Yeah. And, yeah, that one has been, like, especially insane. Like, you know how on your YouTube, like, dashboard, it says, like, it compares your video to, like, what you typically get?
Yeah.
And, like, this one is like more than triple what I typically get.
That's awesome.
It is like completely bonkers. I have no idea. Like, I don't know if it's because Ravencoin is just super interesting to people right now, or if I just got hit with like the algorithm luck or something like that. I couldn't tell you. But like that video I made about auto running a software, like it was originally called like how to auto run like your miner in Windows, because I also have got like comments asking how to do that so much. So I was like so sure that video was gonna be a slam dunk, you know. And so I like even put like that's such a good example of me putting way too much effort into a video and then it just tanks, you know. Like I even figured out like multiple ways of doing it and stuff, and then it's just no interest, which is why I even renamed and like redid the thumbnail, so that at least I could try. At least I could try to maybe target like search traffic after the fact. So I had it be like way less specifically about mining and just be like how to auto run a software with admin privileges in Windows.
Thinking that you may attract some people that weren't originally looking for mining. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah, because it's something that I'm sure people want to do with other types of software as well.
Yep.
But I mean that video I could have just skipped it, to be honest.
I've had a few videos that I've put together, like I recorded. I didn't edit, but I recorded, and I don't edit my videos a ton. But at least got it into like I used DaVinci Resolve. What do you use for your editing?
Oh yeah, Resolve. Yeah, of course I use Resolve. Man.
So I use Resolve, but I have a few videos that I've recorded and they've never made it from the camera even to like my hard drive. Like it's just I've recorded it and then I'm like, and then you know I have it for a few days. And I'm like, oh well, we're past this already. I'm done with it. I'm not even putting it out there. I'm like that video wasn't even that good either.
I've had that happen too, where like I don't know if you know, but like Ethermine changed their payout policy recently.
I saw that. Yep.
And I made a whole video about it. And then just as I was about to hit like export in DaVinci Resolve, or like I hit export.
Yep.
And it started rendering. I go to my YouTube feed, and Son of a Tech has posted a video about it, and I'm just like, first of all. You just know that his video is gonna be better than mine anyway.
Come on.
Also, mine isn't gonna, because like this is not embarrassing, but like I edit my videos on like an 8-year-old laptop, which is hilarious because I have a basement full of all of these like graphics cards.
That's your fault right there. That's your fault.
Yeah, you know, 100%. But it's like I render and edit my videos on an 8-year-old laptop. And so just like rendering a normal video, I have to set it overnight to render basically because it takes all night.
Okay.
Because I also have this thing of like I want all my videos to be 4K.
Ah,
so, like,
you're one of those people.
That immediately, yeah, that immediately quadruples my render time as well.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, so I'm like, well, now I've made this video that is gonna be worse than Son of a Text video, and I'm not gonna have it up for another like at least 12 hours, right? Before I can like get the thumbnail done and the timestamps and everything. So I'm just like, forget it, delete. You know?
No, I hear you. I've been running on this like old Samsung NX30 camera for the longest time, and like it's funny. I have 114 videos out as of today, and I've used it in all of them. Actually, no, I started with a cell phone. I used a cell phone to start with. Then I moved to this camera, and I got it for super cheap. I got like 150 US, and it was used and everything like that. Bought it for another content creator in the space, and it's gotten to me to where I am now. So it's gotten me from 1,000 subs to 14,600 right now is where I'm at.
But isn't that Samsung like NX1 almost one of those like hidden gem cameras? Like,
yes,
because I'm a big camera geek guy.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, it's one of those cameras that like it came out quite a few years, like maybe almost like 8 years ago or something.
Yep.
But it was just so ahead of its time.
Yes.
That like people at that time, they were just like, this camera is bad because it's too it's too good almost. Like the algorithms are too complicated and the decoding and all of that stuff. But it's like, which makes it a great camera now. Which is insane.
Yeah, which is funny. So I've used that for a while, and then I just bought, and I got it literally, and I have it filled. It's literally charging right now. I just got in the Sony ZV-1 is what I bought. Yeah. And but I finally made that investment because I was like, all right, I got paid from YouTube 2 days ago. I'm like, I'm finally gonna buy myself a better camera, and I was like, plus, if we're this wasn't just a one-off. Like this whole YouTube content creation thing, it's like, all right, we're almost 15K subs in. It's now time to invest in quality a little bit better.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, best thing you can do is like reinvest.
Yes.
You know, like once something picks up, like your channel has, like reinvest. You know, and like the ZV-1, that's an excellent camera. Like I'm a Sony user myself. Okay. I have the A7 III, which is one of the like interchangeable lens ones.
Yeah, fancy.
Which yours is basically like mine, just like with the lens built in.
Yes, correct. Yep.
And I think that's a perfect camera for the type of content you do.
Yep.
Where you don't have to like film yourself because the lens isn't quite like wide angle enough for something like what I do where I film myself. It would just be like,
you'd be so close.
Hey, thanks for clicking on my video. You know, like you can see every little pimple on my face, you know.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it's and that's what I was looking for. I was looking for like this because my videos, I walk around, I'm pointing at this, I'm looking at this, and that's what I'm looking for, and less of a vlog style video, which I think yours is more traditionally vlog style. I mean, you're showing equipment and stuff, but a lot of it is you talking. Seeing your face and stuff like that, which I think is awesome. Very cool.
Which Sony also like famously excellent autofocus. Like even in
perfect.
Like dark conditions. Yeah. You're gonna love it. I'm sure.
I can't wait. So on that note, we're gonna wrap things up. I do have a electrician coming in the next 10 minutes to install 230 amp 240 volts.
Let's keep going. What time are we on?
We know what? We won't keep going, but we will do this again. We will do this again sometime. This is.
I was just goofing around. I know you're busy.
Yeah, no,
I should be going to bed actually.
You should. So I have an electrician coming out. He's installing 230 amp 240 volt additional in my mining room. Nice. I ran all the cabling. I got the Space Goats junction boxes in. I got the AC monitors in. So he's just out to terminate the L6 30R outlet for me to make sure I don't hurt myself. Yes, so I have that coming in the next few minutes. So we're going to go ahead and end things there. That being said, Seb, where can people find your content? Because, we talked about so much today, and I think it definitely, hopefully compelled people to check out your content. So where can they go?
Right, so you go to youtube.com and then you go to this channel called The Hobbyist Miner, and you click the subscribe button. And then you can go check out Seb's fintech channel on YouTube if you have time after.
Awesome, awesome.
And I am also on Twitter, I guess, at Seb Heslow, and you can check out my music at Seb Heslow on Spotify.
Yes, I'll have all the links directly down below, guys. So please go ahead and check him out. We'll watch him grow together. He's going to blow things up here in the next 12 months. Can't wait. Other than that, guys, thank you guys very much for joining me and Seb today. If you guys enjoyed the video and content, go ahead and give it a thumbs up as always. And don't forget to subscribe. Take care.